Good morning, welcome, or good afternoon. If you're on this early, you are probably watching the replay. So welcome and thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to talk with me. Let me know that you're here. Give me a hashtag replay. I love to hear from you guys and know that you guys are watching. So again, if it is your first time watching me, my name is Evelyn Knight. I am the CEO and founder of Childcare Business Professionals. I'm also the host of the Childcare Business Coach podcast, and I am a childcare center owner myself. So today I'm going to get right to it and talk to you guys about a struggle I'm seeing a lot of you having. And the reason I wanted to bring this, I come every Monday for Mindset, but there's also some things that we can do to really help. And you guys, I'm going to apologize right now for the echo in the room. My office is I had my floors redone and there's no furniture in here. So the sound is bouncing off the walls, but this will be hopefully be the only week that I have this echo in here. So I do apologize for that in advance, but thank you again so much for joining me. And please make sure you participate. I love the participation. It does get lonely on this side of the camera. So today I want to talk to you guys about really gaining some control of your time and your company through creating an organizational chart for your childcare center. Most of us, and part of what I do as a childcare business coach is help you learn business, right? So most of you don't know how to really organize your staff. And most of you guys probably don't even know what an organizational chart is. So let me explain what that is first. An organization chart basically is the hierarchy of your company. It's really just defining the roles, who's in charge of what. You probably know in your mind, right? You know the hierarchy and you probably know in your own head how things should go, but your staff doesn't. Your staff doesn't know who is what and what is going on. And hi Amber, I see that you joined. So that's where you need to really have this laid out in a chart. And I am going to share my chart with you guys that I created for my childcare center. It's very simple and I will explain it to you guys. And you have to really let your staff know, how does it work? What is the purpose? How do I use it? What is it for, right? So it's really just going to organize your company. And some of you might not even realize that you already have a system. You're just not using it. So if you're really struggling with time management, I teach a lot of time management hacks, right? And if you've been through any of my seminars or courses, if you did the Leadership Lounge, you probably saw my course on time management and how to really take control of your time, teaching people how to respect your time. That is probably the number one thing. You need to learn how to respect your time. They need to learn how to respect your time. But I've done podcast episodes on that. I've done other videos. So I'm not going to get into that today. But I realized that there was still a key struggle out there for a lot of you. There was really many of you still struggling. Even if you used my other time management hacks, like teaching people to respect your time and teaching yourself to respect your time, there was still a missing piece to that. So, gosh, it was probably about 6 months ago. I did this, and we had an organizational chart in my company, but I never taught it to my staff. So I did this for Brandy, my director, and we did a staff meeting. And I taught my entire staff about our organizational chart and the system and how it works, right? And it was a game changer. Brandy, my director, now comes to me and tells me, I need more work to do. I'm kind of bored now. So for those of you who feel like you're just chasing your tail, you have so much work to do, I hear, well, I am delegating. And I hear from you guys, well, I am using your block system. I am using fire time. I am doing this. I am doing that, but I'm still chasing my tail. This is the missing piece to the puzzle. So if you're using my other time management hacks, this is the missing piece to the puzzle. The way an organizational chart is going to work, and I'll tell you what mine is at my company, is you're really just putting the chain of command out there and really illustrating. But there is one difference I made to what our industry trend is, and I'm going to go over that with you guys now. And this is where, as a business coach, I help you guys, and this is just probably 1% of what I teach my clients. And I can tell you guys this is a game changer. It's one of the big ones. So I do have an announcement about this a little bit later. But the way it works is I'm on the top. I'm the owner, right, of my childcare center. And you guys, for those of you who don't know, I do own a childcare center myself. I'm the owner. Right below me in the organization chart is going to be Brandy, my director. Right below her is Alana, our assistant director. And then it branches out. One of the things we did is we created pod leaders or department supervisors. You can call it whatever you want. You can basically just make them supervisors, right? Because part of this, and for those of you who don't know, my education background, I do have an ECE degree. I have several degrees, but one of my degrees is in neurological psychology. And so a lot of what I do is going to have psychology behind it. So when you're titling these things, you have to think to yourself, like, what message do I want to send to my other staff members, right? So we actually titled ours Infant Toddler Supervisor, Preschool Pre-K Supervisor, right? Which is really just preschool supervisor. But so in the branch, if you kind of imagine a flow chart, you've got me, my director, my assistant director, and then it branches out. Under the assistant director, we have 2 other realms, and then you have, which I call them pod leaders in my head, pod leader 1, pod leader 2, or infant toddler supervisor, preschool supervisor. Preschool supervisor does pre-K preschool, right? And then under them, you're going to have the classrooms. If you have lead teachers, under each one, like the infant toddler, all your infant toddler classrooms are going to have the lead teachers, and then under them, you're going to have your assistant teachers, okay? Same thing on the preschool side. You're going to have your preschool supervisor. Under them are going to be all your preschool lead teachers, and then under them are the preschool aides, basically, right? Any aide, anybody else is going to fall under, so people like a cook, people who just drive van, they're going to fall under the assistant director. They don't answer, they, go this way. So during the staff meeting that I had for Brandy, I basically created this chart, put it up on the wall, in my PowerPoint presentation, projected it onto, we just used a TV. That's it. You don't have to get fancy. You don't have to have a projector. If you have a small enough staff, you can literally just open your laptop. It doesn't have to be, don't overthink it, simplify, use what you have. You could even print it out and pass it out. You don't have to have anything on a screen, okay? So I explained to them, I just showed them, this is the chain of command. And I asked them, how many of you go past Brandy and come straight to me, right? Some of them did. Hi, Sherry. It's good to see you on there. Some of them did come straight to me, but we really eliminated that when I went through my time management journey to really learn how to manage my own time. And I'll tell you, I was an owner-director who used to spend 60, 70 hours a week at my childcare center. I've learned how to manage my time enough through the time management tax I teach that now I own 2 companies. I do this company, I have a podcast, and I'm taking care of a terminally ill husband. So, and I'm a mother. So when you really use the hacks, they work. But I saw Brandy struggling, which is why I came up with this organizational chart. So we organized it, right? We created this we did the staff meeting, and in the staff meeting, I basically got in front of our staff and I showed them the chart and I said, this is your chain of command. Any requests need to follow the chain of command. So if you need something, you're going to first go to your department supervisor. Then you're going to go to Alana. She will decide if it needs to be escalated to management, right? You do need a disclosure on that. If it is something that is, some kind of privacy HR type of a matter, they can go to Brandy directly. They can bypass Alana, my assistant director, or the supervisor, and go straight to Brandy. If it's something that needs to be confidential, like if it's an abuse and neglect case, if it's personal, if it's any kind of confidentiality, they can bypass the the supervisor and the assistant director and go straight to the director, right? But the way I explained it to my staff was I told them, what you guys need to understand is, do you see all of you in this room, okay? There's one of you. You are in one classroom. You see the problems that you have in that one classroom and that you personally have. So you go to Brandy for everything, right? But what you don't understand is, do you see all the other teachers in this room? All of them are doing the exact same thing. All of them are also going to Brandy every day. The second problem that you don't understand and may not see because you're just looking at your classroom, you know the issues your parents have in your one classroom. We have 6, okay? There's 6 other rooms with all the parents, 150 families that also have issues that are also going to Brandy. So now put yourself in Brandy's shoes. Imagine being a director and owner and you've got 20 staff members and 150 families, and they're all coming to you because you're the director and they want to hear you. It's like, when does she have time to do her own work? And I'm sure every one of you watching that is struggling with time can resonate with this. You don't have time to do your own work because everybody is interrupting you all day long, right? You get started on something, somebody comes in and they need something from you. You stop what you're doing, you go help them, and then you have to come back. You sit down to come back to your own work. Takes you a couple minutes, like, okay, where was I? What was I doing? Let me get this going. You get going on it, somebody different comes, or the phone rings, but you're constantly getting interrupted. If I'll have to find, I do have a podcast episode I can link in the comments for you guys on how to respect your own time, because if you're allowing this to happen, you are not training your staff on how to respect your time. You probably aren't using the fire time system, and you're not respecting your own time yourself. But I'm not going to go over this because I've already taught this before. You guys can watch my previous videos on time management and also listen to my podcast for more information. So as I'm doing the staff meeting, I told the girls, I'm like, when does Brandy have when does she have time to do the work she needs to do as director? How is she supposed to process the things she needs to do if you guys are always coming to her, right? And I had to tell them, that doesn't mean she's not going to have a relationship with you. It doesn't mean there's time and day, which she uses my block system, right? In the mornings and the evenings. But when it's her office time, she needs that time. So basically, what that is eliminating, if they go to these pod leaders or the team supervisors, right? And if they go to the assistant director before they go to her, now she's not getting those silly requests that are honestly below her pay grade. That's another thing. If you're an owner out there, you need to know what your director's pay is worth, right? And you need to know what is below her pay grade, okay? If your director, or if you yourself as an owner are running around the building searching for glue, you're basically, that is probably should be the lowest paid job. You're paying someone who makes maybe $50 an hour to go run around your building searching for glue. Did you ever think about that? Or if your director is in the kitchen cooking, are you really paying someone, I don't know what you pay your director, $30, they're probably on salary, but if you average it, are they making $30 an hour? Are they making, is that really what you want to pay a cook, $30 an hour? Think about that. You really, really need to get that in line. And that's some of the things I coach on, is really thinking like a business person, because that is a huge waste of money. You yourself, if you're an owner and you're cooking, your time is being wasted and you are worth way too much money to be in the kitchen. You need to be doing revenue producing tasks, which is why we need to organize this stuff, right? Your director should not be looking for glue, should not be looking for paper, plates. They should not be calling parents when the parent forgets to bring a lunch, okay? If it's something big, like their child got hurt in the playground and you need to notify them immediately, yes, your director can call for that. But those little things are below your director's pay grade. You need to be looking at what tasks should your director be doing, what is worth the $30, $40 an hour that you, or even 20, I don't know. I mean, I know this field is tough, right? $20 an hour that your director gets paid, what is worth their salary? And you need to take the things off their plate that is just below their pay grade, right? So, and I'm sure every one of you owners and directors can resonate with this, when there's a new poster that comes in and the teacher can say, I don't know where to hang this on the wall, that is below your director's pay grade. She should not be going in and advising on where things, that is something a supervisor can help with. So let me talk a little bit about the supervisor position, because I know what many of you are thinking is like, I can't afford to have a supervisor, but it's not quite what you think. Having a supervisor, they are still going to be in the classroom. They're still working just like a normal teacher, right? But this is more somebody who's filtering things, right? Because this is somebody who's going to be more in tune. So when you pick your supervisor, you're going to pick that person who's just awesome, who you know you can rely on, okay? And it doesn't take a lot, you guys. A lot of people, we think in terms of money. very often we think, well, now I got to pay them more and I got to do this and I got to do that. But a lot of times people love having a title. And so giving them that title just empowers them. So honestly, you can probably offer them an extra 25 cents an hour, right? Because it's not adding to the amount of hours they work. And this is where you need to be careful, really defining the role. Now, if you want to add, then yes, you can give them a good raise, right? And make them officially a supervisor, right? But this is where you're going to need job descriptions and make it very clear what you expect. I mean, they're not going to be doing any kind of discipline. They're not going to be doing, unless that's a totally different role. You can still call them a supervisor, but you really need to gauge. If you just want someone who's going to filter requests to save you time, maybe 25 cents an hour more. I mean, some people honestly would be happy with 15 cents an hour more. It's the title that they really enjoy having, right? It just gives them that sense of accomplishment that they are growing with your company. So that's something to think about. And over time, you can develop them, right? Because as you free up time for yourself, you can now help your childcare center become higher quality. You can also focus on revenue generating things like putting things into place that can help you charge your clients more. You can go do the work to enroll more people, right? So that helps to make your center profitable. Directors and owners, you should really be focusing on things that are profit-based, not tactical. Tactical should come off. I mean, some things have to be tactical, right? Like billing and things like that. But billing is revenue generating, making sure that money is coming in, letting go of parents who aren't paying. Those are the tasks your directors should be doing. Those are the tax owners should be doing, right? They should not be chasing to see if we're out of blue construction paper. That is a waste of your time as a director. You should not be doing those little tasks. So just think about how that works. And it doesn't take as much as you think. It's really in your mindset and how you present the information. So I hope that helped you guys to really understand just this quick time management hack. I know it's easier said than done. So I am going to do something for all of you out there. On June 17th, I am going to do an all-day intensive. It's going to be like it's going to be about a 5-hour-long training where I'm going to help you put your organizational chart together. We will create your organization chart. We will create the job descriptions. We'll create the training. We'll get it all done so that you can roll out this organizational system for your childcare center. We will work out all of the tactical parts of it that you need, and this is the kind of tactical you do want to do because it is improving the quality of your program, which in the long term will raise your revenue, right? In the long term, it will enable you to make more money. So if this is something that you're interested in with working with me one-on-one, I am going to open this up for my clients. It is something I'm going to offer to you, any of my members. This will just be part of my program for you guys. But I am going to open this up to 10 people who are not my clients, right? And we will just be able to work for the day. So if this is something you'd be interested in, it's going to be June 17th. You're going to have to set aside just about 4 or 5 hours that day. I've been putting the program together, but once I finalize it, I'll be able to tell you I'm probably going to have to take about 5 hours so we can get the work done. But it's going to be a small group of us. We'll work on Zoom together. And it's something that we can do so that you can implement this into your programs ASAP. We'll be able to do the just all of the work to get it going. Hi Christian, how are you? You just missed it. I just announced that we, for my members, I'm going to be doing an all-day intensive workshop on June 17th on creating organizational charts for each childcare center. And we're going to do this all-day intensive so that I know the work gets done. So I'm going to train on it, and then we're going to do the work together, right? And so that way, by the end of the day, your organizational chart will be completed. You'll have the job descriptions completed. You'll know exactly like the type of person who you're going to promote to these positions, right? And you're going to have everything you need basically. So the following Monday, you can implement it and put it into action. So if you're not one of my members already and you're interested in joining me for the day, go ahead and send me a message and I'll let you know what you need to do to get signed up for that training. So it's going to be a day-long training, and basically you'll just set aside the day. If you are in Nevada, I will be able to give you training hours for it. If you're in another state that doesn't require like going through, like in Nevada, we are required to go through a registry. I will be able to give you training certificates for the amount of hours that you take the class on. But if Nevada, I am a registered trainer here, so I can give you guys training hours for that here in Nevada, and it will be over Zoom. So message me if you're interested. One more announcement. Next week, I am doing my free workshop on increasing enrollment in your childcare center. So go ahead and join me. It'll all be live every day next week at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm gonna help you guys increase enrollment over this this summer, our second summer after COVID. So if you're struggling with enrollment and retention, join me next week every day at 9 a.m. and let me know that you want to join so I can send you the workbook. There's a workbook that goes with it. So message me for either one. Let me know if you want to do the June 17th workshop or if you want to do the free workshop next week on increasing enrollment. The workshop next week is 100% free. The June workshop will have a cost to it. That is much more in depth, much more work that has to do, so that one will have a cost to it. So I hope everybody has a beautiful day, and thank you for watching me. Have a wonderful week, everybody.